Hi everyone, so if you're watching this then I've been successful in my video interview because I'll not be uploading it unless I'm successful. So I just wanted to give you my top tips really. My first one is that even though it's a video interview, you still have to treat it as a real interview in terms of what you wear and stuff. So I've got, you can see, a blazer and a blouse. I have actually then got jeans and slippers on. They're not going to see like your footwear or anything like that, like you're at home, so you can still be comfortable, but like you need to look professional, so make sure like you still have like a blouse or a shirt or whatever, and I've put a blazer on top of mine as well just because. So yeah, that would be my first tip really, like still dress appropriately and treat it as a real interview in that respect. My second piece of advice would be to have a clear background. So I'll be filming mine where I usually film my vlogs, which is at my desk. So I'll sit, there we go. So you can see the background's quite plain because of the light, you can't even really see my bed, and then the wall is quite, like, you can't really see anything. So make sure that your background's plain. You don't want anything you don't want anything distracting the people that are watching your video interview. You want them to be focused on you. And also, like, you don't want to appear unprofessional if there's things in the background that you would prefer not to have in the background. Does that make sense? So yeah, make sure you've got a clear background, dress appropriately. My next tip is about where you're doing your video interview, so make sure that your laptop, if you're doing it on your laptop or your phone, is fully charged. Mine isn't, but it's on charge currently, so yeah, make sure it's fully charged. I also have a pen and paper just in case I want to make any notes at all. And obviously make sure it's in quite a stable position, it's not going to move or anything like that. So that's quite important as well. Another thing, I have some hints and tips on my wall. So above where like my family photos are, well, they're on top of them, sorry mum. But I will take them down afterwards. So I've got like just some key things, and I'm also going to highlight like the more important things before I do my video interview as well. And then I've got like a little inspirational quote up there too. So it means that it's right behind you, so you're not like looking away at notes or anything like that, but you are keeping eye contact with the camera, and you're still able to kind of rely on some of the notes you've made. So yeah, that's quite important as well. So finally, once you've done all of those things, go for it. Each video interview is slightly different. I think mine is for Shoosmiths for their training contract. So from what I can gather, they like flash up questions and you've got like a bit of time to think about it and then you answer it. And it's just an automated thing. So that's kind of how mine is done. But I think it does depend where you're interviewing for and things like that. So yeah, the obvious thing I think is just speak slowly, be calm, be clear, and yeah, just really like present yourself well. Remember that it is still an interview. It might not be at the office or, you know, in a formal setting, but it is still an interview and you should treat it as such and prepare for it as such. So I think that's really important to remember as well. Hi everyone, so I actually had to move my video interview. I had to go to uni and sit in one of the individual rooms, so it's quite a nice chilled environment still. I was still able to have my stuff up on the wall. I've got my laptop there and things, and I've still got a nice plain background, but I found that being in my house, I've not got really thick walls, so I could hear my next door neighbour on the phone. Also out the window I could hear my neighbour opposite and their dog in the garden, and then I live kind of just off quite a busy main road where a lot of like ambulances and stuff go down, so you could hear that as well. So I actually had to move to university library to make sure that it was quiet and there was no distractions in the background. Hi everyone, all done. That actually wasn't that bad. So I had like 60 seconds after each question to just plan my answer, think about what I was going to say. My notebook and pen came in really handy because I was able to jot things down, which was really helpful. Jot a few ideas down and just kind of get that clarity of thought before I answered. Then I had 90 seconds to answer each question, which was doable really. I could have spoke for longer, I think, on a couple of them, but that's the point of these things, to make you communicate clearly and concisely. So hopefully I got through everything that I should have done, and fingers crossed really. But I mean, if you're watching this, I've done it, so yeah. Thank you all so much for watching my video on video interviews. I hope you can find it really helpful in the future, and I hope that you can draw on some of the advice and some of the experiences that I've been through. So yeah, thank you very much. As I say, as usual, comment, like, share, please subscribe, that would be amazing. And yeah, just feel free to communicate with me in any way that you wish, should you have any requests or general comments really. Thank you.